happening, guys? It's a beautiful, beautiful Friday morning here in Bangalore. As you can see, you have all of the sunny flares coming in, and even though half of Koramangala is dug up really, really badly, it still feels nice to be riding out on a Friday morning to work. And I haven't made a riding video, I haven't made a riding vlog in a very long time. Whoops. So I thought I would make one and talk about, let me just put my visor down. And talk about the Yamaha R15 version 3 that is supposed to be coming up for launch very, very soon. Now, I know that a lot of guys, especially the sports bike enthusiasts, have been waiting for a very long time for the R15 version 3, and there have been so much of talk as to when Yamaha is going to bring out this bike. Will it have all of the features that the international version does? People have been debating about the looks, about the price. These guys seem to be blocked over here. And I think we're getting closer to finding out all of the answers. But I spoke to the Yamaha people about a week back, and from what I hear from them, the bike will be launching very soon in India, sometime either towards January or early Feb in 2018, so that is hardly any time at all from now. And the expected price of the bike is supposed to be 1.7 lakhs. Now, yes, if you're going to get an upgrade, if you're going to get something that is more than just a cosmetic facelift, it is going to come at a price. And this really makes me interested to see how many of those people who are complaining about not all of the international features being there in the Indian version of the bike will be willing to spend 1.7 lakh and upwards for a 150cc premium bike. Because I think in India we still have this mentality wherein we rate the premiumness of a bike according to its cubic capacity, and we just cannot wrap our head around the fact that sometimes a premium 150cc bike can be as expensive, if not more expensive, than a 200cc bike. I think that's a concept that we don't really understand or appreciate. So it will be really interesting to see how many people actually go along with the brand spanking new Yamaha R15 version 3. Now, believe me, I've seen a couple of spy shots which have already been leaked online, and I'll put them up on the screen. And as you can make out, the bike looks spectacular. It essentially looks like a miniature 2017 R6 or an R1. And the fact that Yamaha has maintained a consistent design outlook on all of their bikes, starting right from the 150cc all the way up until their flagship offering, which is the R1, I think is truly commendable. They deserve a huge pat on the back. This kind of makes me think about all of those hypothetical scenarios when we've sat and debated how cool it would be if Ducati would have a 150cc Panigale or a 300cc Panigale. And the 150cc is happening for sure. I don't know if it is coming to India anytime soon, but Teri maa ka sala kutte ka bachcha. अब वो उसके लिए गाली भी नहीं है, because he is indeed a कुत्ते का बच्चा. But anyways, what was going on to be such a nice morning up until now got ruined because of that dog chasing me down for no apparent rhyme or reason. Now, digressing from the topic a little bit, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not a huge fan of dogs, especially these ruffian street dogs that just seem to come at you from nowhere for no apparent rhyme or reason, like that dog just did. Now imagine if it was the night and it just leapt out at me and started barking. You could very well end up losing control of your bike, trying to avoid hitting the dog, and a lot of bad things can happen as a result of it. So if you have a pet dog, I'm not against that, as long as you're keeping that dog under control. But a lot of these people who cannot have a pet dog for whatever reason make a lot of these street dogs as their pets. So essentially what it means is they take all of the good side of that equation. They get the affection, they get the love, and they get the loyalty of that dog, and they feed it every once in a while, but they don't take any responsibility for it. So if some street dog like that they're feeding and they have quote-unquote adopted, attack somebody, they're not responsible for it, because they're just going to shrug their shoulders and say, oh, you know what, I kind of, you know, it's not even my dog. I mean, they won't even be in the scene pretty much. But when they're feeding these dogs and when they're encouraging them, what really happens is a group of them forms in no time. They breed, they reproduce, and it just becomes an unavoidable nuisance for other people who might not be dog lovers. And believe it or not, such people exist. I'm one of them, and I'm just being very blunt about it. Anyways, what was I talking about? I think I was talking about the Ducati Panigale 150 that is in the works, at least internationally, and we'll have to see if that one actually comes down to India. Even if it does, I'm very, very sure it won't be less than 3 lakhs or somewhere around that range, and not too many people would really go in for it, but I'm sure everyone and their grandmothers would actually share the pictures on Instagram and ooh and ah about how amazing it looks. Anyways, as far as the R15 version 3 is concerned, I think this is going to be truly a test of how serious the Indian biking enthusiast is, because if this bike does as well as the previous versions of the R15, then you can rest assured that the biking community in India is very, very serious and is willing to put their money where their mouths are. However, if this bike has average to sluggish sales, then I think it's going to be a very clear-cut indication for not just Yamaha but other companies like Honda and Suzuki that they should not really be bringing in their lower capacity premium bikes into the Indian market, because there isn't really too much of a demand for it. And then, of course, people like you and I and other biking fans will not really have any reason to complain, because those companies would just be doing what is good for their business. Because at the end of the day, just understand this: Yamaha, Suzuki, Honda, KTM, none of these companies are in the business of providing a biking lifestyle, even though that is what their advertising would suggest. They're simply in the business of making a profit, and at the end of the day they will make those decisions that further the objectives of maximizing their bottom line and their top line. So that is my quick vlog for the day. I kind of had fun doing this after a very, very long time, and I certainly will be doing a lot more of these in the future. By the way, before I go, have you noticed these mirrors that I got? These replica Tomok side view mirrors, which I got from AliExpress. I think they look quite funky and nice. I should probably show you a view from the front as well, and maybe I'll just do that before I put out my outro. What do you think of them? Let me know in the comment section. If you want me to maybe make a dedicated video about it and you know, compare their style quotient versus their functionality, let me know, and I'd be happy to do that for you guys. But for right now, if this is your first time around at the Savant Life, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because it only takes a second. And while you're at it, also click on the bell icon so that you can be notified when I put out more new videos. I will see you in the next one, but until then, thank you so much for watching. Take care, ride safe, be good, and as always, have fun. Unlike the owner of that Harley Davidson who is getting his bike towed. Alright, now let's check out the mirrors from the front, and I will truly see you the next time around. Cheers.